Hey everybody, Psychosaurus is here. Welcome back to Age of Empires Online. And today, I'm gonna talk about walls. And it's gonna be like, yeah, how useful they can be for you, how to deal with them when you're trying to break through them. Simple stuff. But yeah, if you're enjoying these videos and you feel like, hey, maybe there's something I should talk about, maybe explain something, hey, give me a suggestion because it's hard coming up with these videos. Teams like, oof, could be something. I don't know. Like maybe I'm not thinking of something that, hey, you might be interested at. So give me suggestions if you feel like, hey, something could be nice. But anyway, back to the walls. So walls are a very nice structure that you can use pretty much all the time, except the legendary quests where you are forbidden from building them. It's unfortunate, but whatever, it exists. But hey, if you have them available, you should try using them sometimes. So wall, as you can see, it's this nice structure. You can see it says it costs 3 stone. Now that's not actually the full story here, because as you can see around here, we have like multiple parts of the walls. And if you start building the walls, you can see you have like this node, you start there, and then as you keep expanding, hey, more segments are adding up, and you can see it's changing size, expanding, and so on and so on. And you can place it like this. Now it says it costs 3 stone, which if you click on this node, you can see, hey, it costs 3 stone. But if you click on this larger segment, you can see the cost is actually going up. So you can see the maximum here is 15 stone, which is the largest one. I think some smaller ones, yes, here costs like 6 stone. I don't know if there's, if we select all the walls, you can see it's nicely separated into different structures actually. So you have this one here for 3 stone. Those are the nodes. You can count them up to 5. Then we have this one for 6, which are the smaller segments. And then we have the large ones for 15 stone. So you can see the cost of the stone wall is actually depending on how large the wall segment is. And obviously, the more you want to build, the more it's gonna cost you. Now, luckily, it's not that expensive to build a wall, but it might depend on the map you're currently playing on, because sometimes, hey, if you want to just wall off this choke point nicely, it's not gonna cost you that much, right? But if you are starting here and you want to like wall off the whole area, then you would be like this, then you would have to put wall over here and then over here, and suddenly, yeah, that's a lot of stone you might have to invest into building walls. So obviously, depending on how much wall you want or need, you can put certain number of villagers on stone. So if you would have to build like this short wall, you would put like, let's say 1, and then soon after you will be able to build this wall very nicely. I would say it would take like what, 30 seconds maybe, if we take a look. Yeah, let's say like in a minute you will have more than enough stone to build this wall right there. So that will be one thing. Now, once you build them, obviously they are blocking the path. That's the point of the wall. They are supposed to block the path. They're supposed to protect you from the enemy so they cannot get to you that easily. Now, if you want to get to them, obviously you cannot go through the walls naturally, so that's not possible. So for that you need to actually build a gate. Now for this, actually you need the large segment of the wall, the largest one for 15 stone. That's the only way you can actually convert it to the gate. Now if we select this smaller one, you can see there's no gate. You need a large one to actually be able to convert it into the gate. Otherwise, hey, you cannot do that. So as you can see, nothing here, just only the large one. Now, as you can see, it costs 50 wood. So you do this, it costs you 50 wood. Now, obviously, you don't have to click it. There's a hotkey in the hotkey settings, so you can set it up for yourself. Mine is on G. But yeah, once you convert it, you can see it changes its visual. so it looks like this, and then you can walk through it without a problem. It's nicely open. Now, just so you know, enemy cannot walk through the gate when it's open. That's your advantage. You can walk through it, but the enemy cannot. So this gives you an option to suddenly, hey, maybe there is a part of the wall that's being attacked by the enemy, but you don't have the gate. So suddenly you create a gate and you can go there and attack the enemy from in that direction. So very useful, can be surprising for the enemy sometimes, but yeah, very nice, and it's important when you want to get out of your base. Now, one good use for this gate transformation is against AI when they are, let's say, attacking this wall segment, and you could see me maybe using this sometimes. Sometimes I use this in the Invasion of Rome, although it's not the greatest thing anyway, but yeah, it can help you. If you convert it to the gate, it suddenly becomes like a different structure. Let's say it is suddenly a different structure. It's not really the wall anymore, it's a gate, right? You can see it. So it's like it transforms into different structure, and so it causes the AI to suddenly like lose the target for that moment. And so the AI will try to leave, or unfortunately what usually happens is the AI will start attacking different wall segments. So it can buy you some time, okay? It can be useful if you want to buy some time. Hey, it's possible to do this and confuse the AI a little bit, but yeah, it might not be like always that useful, but it can help, just so you know. Okay, there's that. I think that's all about this. So when do you want to use walls? Now, obviously walls are supposed to block the enemy from entering your base. So if you want to, for example, delay the enemy armies coming in, you can see it's a pretty good amount of health. This is the basic wall, but once you start getting the upgrades, you can see it doubles the health, and the another one also doubles the health. With the upgrades, the wall health will just skyrocket pretty high. Like, we are playing as Celts, so there's gonna be only one upgrade. If you were playing as Greeks, you would have 2 upgrades, so suddenly, hey, it's 10,000 health. If you're playing, let's say, as Egyptians, that goes even higher, over 20,000 health. So that can help you a lot when you're trying to delay the enemy attack. So that's very useful. And since, as you could see, walls are not super expensive, and if you can get like this structure with 20,000 health for just small amount of stone, yeah, that's so good. I mean, even the fortress, like, you put a lot of health on it, sure, it can have like 50,000 health, let's say, but it still costs like 400 stone. Whereas if you build like multiple layers of walls, that's gonna cost you a lot less. So it's definitely, obviously, you cannot defend with walls only, because you still need something to attack the enemy. But yeah, it's definitely a lot cheaper to build the walls and to protect your base. So that would be one way. The other way would be like trying to maybe create a choke point. So you build like wall like this, and then you put it like this, and so the enemy will be like forced going through here. And then, hey, if you have like ranged units over here, while this area being, this choke being protected by your melee units, this can be also good idea to try this. Other than that, yeah, basically you build same way. You could say, hey, you just build walls like around your base, so the enemy units, instead of like trying to go into your base from the right, you try to force them going into this specific area where you have your army, so it will be easier for you to defend your base. That's another way you can do it. And last thing I would say would be when you, sometimes the AI is actually a little bit dumb, and so you can like build wall like this, completely block off the path, and if you don't build anything near the wall and remove all of your units from the area, that can actually confuse the AI, and the AI might never actually attack you. Now this trick is actually very useful in quests such as Soloi, where the AI, oh my god, that AI spams a lot, so you don't really want to deal with that army, and so you just build a wall at the beginning and prevent the AI from ever attacking you, and so you have more than enough time to build up your army, build up your economy, and start pushing towards the AI bases. So yeah, you can just block off the path completely, confuse the AI. It works in some quests, like I said, Soloi is one of those. It used to work easily on the New Rebellion as well, in the Athens. But yeah, you might still find some quests. But yeah, most of the times you probably just try to build like walls around your base and try to like force the enemy units into like specific area, or try to block the path so they never really get there. But yeah, I think just forcing them going into a specific area or just delaying them from ever getting into your base, I think is gonna be the most useful thing you're gonna find about the walls. But yeah, sometimes blocking also helps. But anyway, that's all about the walls. Obviously, they can be upgraded. Depends on the civ you're playing as. If you're playing as scouts, you have only one upgrade. I wouldn't say it's that it would be the cheapest upgrades, no, but it's relatively cheap. And the value is really there, like 100% extra health you get per upgrade. Especially this first one, yeah, that's really worth it. Every other upgrade is gonna be more expensive, but obviously it's gonna be worth as it just doubles the value of your wall, so it's gonna be very nice. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the walls for you. Then we're moving on to the walls against you. Obviously, when you are playing, let's say Asgard, you have this gate over here, the walls, and you want to get through them, and then you continue and there's like multiple walls blocking your path, and so you want to get through them as easily as possible. That's obvious. Now unfortunately you just have to attack them, which as you can see, it's still a lot of health, so getting through them is quite annoying. Now there are a few things you should remember about the walls, so let's go attack this wall. Okay, this is not a good one. Let's try this. Yeah, this one is nice. Okay, as you can see, we were attacking this wall segment. That's the first thing. Now, for some reason, it doesn't work on all the walls. It's just something about the placement of the walls, I guess. But yeah, usually when you see a wall, it should work. If you attack one segment of the wall, the neighboring ones should be damaged as well. They should be damaged. You can see exactly the same damage. Now this is very important because you actually can spread this damage to other segments as well. Hopefully this works. No, this one doesn't work. That's oh my god. Okay, let's see. Okay, you can see some damage has been done over here. Let's try this. Man, these walls are tricky. I swear. I wasn't trying it on these exactly, but yeah, usually it should work. Unfortunately, I broke those gates, but it should be working on them. Okay. Yeah, man, these walls are just not great. That's just great. Oh my god. Okay, not this. Okay, this one is good. Okay, this one seems to be taking the damage. Okay, so we see we took it over here. Now if I attack this, yeah, see, it actually spread the damage from the neighboring segment. It was full health and suddenly it went down by 900 health or 1000 or whatever it was. But yeah, 900 health suddenly going down because the neighboring segment was damaged. This one actually got the damage again. You can see it again. If we damage it a little bit more. Okay, let's see, 7,000. Now look at this. And it went down by almost 3,000 health just with a single attack. This is very useful. For example, if you have this wall, like I said, it's a large wall being right here. Now you want to break through it as soon as possible. Obviously, you don't really want to break just only one wall segment, because you want to really spread the damage as much as possible. If you're going, let's say, for a large melee army, you need the space for the melee army to get in there, surround the enemy. And so you want to distribute this damage like over here. Like we did over here, so you actually break as much of the wall as possible, okay? As many segments as you can, as soon as possible. Obviously, this can be actually used when you like spread your units, like one attack in, and then suddenly, hey, you attack this one segment with multiple, and obviously then this one is just there for the distribution of the damage. And so you can actually spread it among the multiple segments, like, hey, you would send like one here, one here, one here, one here, and then most of your units would be attacking like this. And it would easily spread the damage as far as possible. So that's one useful thing you can do. Obviously, you might not really do it with only one unit, because hey, your units might get attacked, so you might send like smaller groups of units, spread them like this, and then just focus on this one wall segment. Break that one as soon as possible while distributing the damage among the other segments, and break through the rest of the wall as soon as possible. I think one good quest where you can use this is like more medians, because when you are trying to get through the first wall leading to the north and western base, because hey, that it's a quite large wall, okay, and there are priests that are annoying, and oh boy, you just want to get through that as soon as possible, and so you like spread your army and try to break the wall as soon as possible, and as large as you can, because there are also fortresses that are being protected by those walls, and so you just want to break those walls so you can get to the fortresses as well. So that's why I'm talking about this. But yeah, that's it. Now obviously I was showing it on this long segment, but obviously it works on the nodes as well. If you attack the node, it will spread to the neighboring larger segments. You can see it, both of them taking damage at the same time. This obviously is useful if you wanna destroy the larger part of the wall, but obviously the node is very small, so it will have the effect of limited number of units attacking it. So there's that. Now obviously, just a small tip, you wanna like stack your units as much as you can near the wall. So you click. If you cannot get behind the wall, there's like no path that would allow you to get there. You can just click behind it. Otherwise, you might have to like click near it. Let me see. You would have to click like as near as possible, so they stack a little bit, and then you attack it, and your melee units will be able to attack it quite easily without a problem. But be careful, as the enemy might have some splash damage hurting your units as well. So yeah, just a little trick. If you wanna attack these larger segments, stack the units. The melee ones, obviously ranged ones, will have easier time for that. But for melee units, you want to stack them and then attack the segment for fast destruction. Now, this was talking about the single target units such as longswordsmen, but because these nodes are actually small, you can actually use units such as the Celtic champion to break through the walls. Now let's attack this wall. I hope. How much was this? You can see. So it was like 160. Yeah, 162. Now let's try attacking this node. Okay. It's been like obviously the slow animation, but as you can see, this was like 160. This one was like 480 almost. 480. That was triple the damage, as you can see. Now, why did this actually happen? As I said, the nodes are very small, and because champions have actually splash damage, when you attack the node, it will actually, not only that the damage will spread to the neighboring wall segments, the splash damage is actually also being applied to the neighboring segments. So you damage the node, the damage will spread, and then you do the splash damage, so it will hit the segment, and so it will spread back to the node. So this is a trick you can actually do when you are training army of units with splash damage. So such as champions, you can focus on these nodes, and the walls will go down damn fast, as you can see. And that was just a few units, okay? Very simple trick that works, and you should try to utilize it as much as possible. As I said, the nodes are very small, so you have limited number of units attacking them. But if your unit is dealing splash damage, it doesn't really matter, because suddenly, hey, that's a lot of damage that you can do with just a small number of units. It goes down pretty damn fast. Now obviously, you can imagine units such as Greek ballistas or Egyptian catapults that have crush damage, do extra damage against buildings, and now they are hitting these nodes. Yes, it hurts a lot. Always try to target the nodes with units that deal splash damage, because that will just help you break through the walls really fast. Always do that, okay? Very simple, very effective. That's why units such as champions can be really good at breaking through the walls. Ballistas, catapults. Now, just a little warning, Palintonons and lock throws might be a little bit less efficient at this because of the projectile behavior. You might have seen this actually. When you try to target this node, the projectile usually is not like accurate, okay? Especially with Palintonons, you can see it very easily. So the projectile might fly at it, but it might not actually hit the node, but rather the neighboring segment. And so because you will not hit the node, the splash damage is not being spread there, and so you will do a lot less damage with Palintonons. So just a little bit warning when you're trying to target the wall nodes with your Palintonons. You might not hit the nodes all the time, okay? But when it happens, oh yeah, it hurts. But anyway, I hope I did not forget anything. I think I said everything, so just so you remember, walls, very useful. It's very cheap to build them. They offer you a good amount of health, especially when you upgrade them. Great for delaying the enemy units or for confusing the AI and forcing it to go into, let's say, areas where you have your army, or just preventing them from attacking you ever. So very useful in that. When you're trying to break through the walls, remember, if you have units with splash damage, focus on the nodes. You will break through the walls very fast, very easily. If you don't have units with splash damage, remember to stack them on the wall, the large wall segments, so you easily do as much damage to that segment as possible. Just be careful when the enemy has splash damage. So yeah, I hope I told you everything about the walls. If you feel like I forgot something, I think, yeah, there might be one thing. Hey, maybe you can use walls. I think this is something you can do in like Elite Meet and Greet. I think other players are doing that maybe, but you can do like one node, and this will like, once you build it up, it will be like a bait for the enemy units attacking it and delaying them from getting near to the. I think it's something like that, where you can use it as a bait, so the enemy units are attacking it instead of like you're trying to get to the wonder they're supposed to destroy. That's another thing probably that I forgot, but usually I don't use it, so I don't really think about it. I prefer having an army ready to deal with the enemy. But yeah, hope you find this video very useful and helps you improve your times in the legendary quest especially. But yeah, anything that you can find useful here and you appreciate it, please make sure to press the like button, as yeah, these are pretty worthy information. So yeah, I will truly appreciate if you press the like button. Make sure to share this video so the other players know about these things as well, as these are very useful information. This is very useful information in my opinion. And yeah, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This was Psychosaurus, and remember, if you feel like I should talk about something specific, you want to give me some suggestion of what to focus on next, yeah, just leave a comment below the video and I'll try to see if it's gonna be actually worth. Maybe it might not be that difficult as you might think, but who knows, maybe there might be something interesting. But anyway, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time, bye.